first visit, as you heard the ambassador say, the very first visit to Angola by an American Secretary of Defense. So it is especially fitting that we are gathered at Angola's National Archive, because I believe that we can make even more history together and we can make even more progress together. My team and I arrived in Angola yesterday after some great meetings with our valued partners in Djibouti and Kenya. And I'm especially pleased to be wrapping up a busy week-long trip to Africa here in Angola. Over the past few years, America's relationship with Angola has taken huge strides, and Angola has become a highly valued, highly capable partner for the United States and a rising leader in the region and beyond. So we're deepening our cooperation with your government on military modernization and training, maritime security, and medical readiness. And we're committed to working together even more closely on peacekeeping, climate, intelligence, space cooperation, and more. So I'm here in Angola to strengthen that robust and equal partnership. But I'm also here to underscore an important point, and that is that Africa matters. It matters profoundly to the shape of the 21st century world, and it matters for our common prosperity and our shared security. And Africa also matters deeply to the United States and to my boss, President Biden, and I can tell you firsthand that the President believes that Africa's success is crucial to all of our futures. You know, his passion for Africa goes all the way back to his days as a young senator. So when President Biden spoke to African leaders from 49 countries, he said it from the heart. The United States is all in on Africa's future. Now, the President also knows that the continent faces major challenges. Africa is on the front lines of many of the 21st century's most urgent shared threats: pandemics, food insecurity, the climate crisis, terrorism, the plundering of resources, and the return of autocracy. But as I've seen firsthand this week, some inspiring, very inspiring African leaders and activists and change makers are on those front lines as well. And they're confronting a whole range of big challenges head on. I'm thinking today of a young Angolan named Boasia Fernando. And I think Boasia is here with us today. Boasia is an entrepreneur working to end food insecurity here in Angola. And several years ago, he received a fellowship from our State Department to study in the United States. So this son of Angola found himself in Iowa. And Iowa is a state where the average low temperature in January is around -9 degrees Celsius. But Iowa is also a major producer of corn, a crop that's in high demand here in Angola. And Mr. Fernando realized that he could use his skills and the relationships that he had built in Iowa to connect American farmers with Angolan consumers and bring corn from Iowa to the shores of Angola. And that's great for both of our countries. In fact, he was so inspired by his time in Iowa that he's now working to adapt the agricultural business models that he saw there in Iowa to grow Angola's own food stocks Now that's a story of drive and partnership. So let's give Boaz our hand. And that's just a tale of one young person. But when you stack together all the energy of this country and this continent, and when you add up everything that I've seen this week, well, I come away from this trip with a whole lot of optimism about Africa's future. As President Biden says, there's a fundamental truth of the 21st century, that our own success is bound up with others succeeding as well. So when we all have a seat at the table, when we work as equals towards shared goals, when we listen and not just lecture, when we invest in our common security, then we have building blocks for a partnership of principle and progress. The United States is deeply committed to making sure that Africa enjoys all of the protections of the international rules and norms that advance security and prosperity. You know, other countries may see African countries as proxies or even pawns. But we see African nations as partners. The Biden administration believes that the future is being written today in Africa.